ladies and gentlemen, but I am extremely shocked by what I am about to show you. And if you are a hair professional, whether you're a hairstylist, primarily hairstylist, because this is more of a salon industry type brand, I'm going to show you all something right now, and you're going to be blown away. So I used to work for Paul Mitchell, right, as an educator, and I've also worked for L'Oreal. I've seen, I've spent years dedicating, my passion, my love for the industry for this company, speaking the lingo, the verbiage, buying into all their systems and programs. And I learned a lot from working with them. And Paul Mitchell really was all about the hair professional. And the way it went was there was Paul Mitchell himself, who was the hairstylist, and then John Paul DeJoria, who's the guy with the ponytail, who you see all the time. Paul Mitchell, rest in peace. He died, I think it was 1989 or so. But everybody remembers John Paul because John Paul DeJoria, or JP, he's the one who owns, really technically, Paul Mitchell. And then Paul Mitchell's son, rests his soul. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But there's a lot goes on. But as far as running the company and like the main guy, it's John Paul, who everybody sees. He also owns Patron, a billionaire. I saw this yesterday, and I was blown away. They've teamed up or hired, I guess, Paris Hilton to be a spokesmodel for the company. Now, I love Paris Hilton. I've always thought she was gorgeous. I respect her as an entrepreneur, but it's also Paris Hilton. Like, she has a unique way about herself. And when I see her, I don't see anything to do with professional salon industry or hairstylists and hairdressers. And that's what the company Paul Mitchell has always been about is, to the professional, and then the professional gets it out to the consumers. This to me is a huge, strong play on we're going right to consumers, but it just completely is so off brand that, and I know a lot of other companies, beauty companies, have used and hired celebrities. Like, I worked with one that brought on Pamela Anderson for a short time. I actually have me and Pamela Anderson, we've, doing an interview and talking about it. And I've seen, numerous celebrities team up with brands just to elevate some exposure. And some of it makes sense. Some of it, like this, to me makes no sense. Again, I love Paris Hilton. I've always thought she was like so beautiful and awesome and this and that. But like, for this, it to me is just mind-boggling, considering that Paul Mitchell is all about something completely different. So I think I know why they're doing it, to try to get some publicity, stay relevant, to try to connect more with consumers. But this is not a direct to professional move, in my opinion, whatsoever. And I hope that I get people watching this that are hairstylists and leave their comments. Again, like, there's nothing against Paris Hilton. I think she's incredible. And I also think the brand Paul Mitchell is great because I used to work for them. However, this to me makes no sense. And I think what's happening is things are shifting and they want to become more relevant to the consumer. But yeah, and there's even like a video here. I'm going to play this. I wonder if, I'm sure you can all see this. It's on YouTube and stuff, I would assume. But like, I mean, this has, it's just, again, she's like incredible. Yeah, it makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. I just don't see her, like, yeah, Glambassador. Yeah. So I'd love to know everyone's thoughts and opinions. It just doesn't make sense to me. And yeah, so so I'd love to know everyone's thoughts. Hello, everybody. What's going on? Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate the support. This was more of a like an emergency type of whoa, what do you think? I can't believe this is happening type of live stream. I'm not really doing hair tutorial or like consultations or anything, but it was more about just brand. And then branding is all about like, you know, like currently they have people working for them who used to work for Vidal Sassoon, their creative director. Like I've trained at Vidal Sassoon in London. Like I understand why they did what they did with bringing on those people, and I just don't understand this move. It's just such a different type of. I mean, it looks great. It's just, to me, it's not the company, unless they're trying to change their image, unless they're trying to shift to go direct to consumer more, I have no idea, but I'd love to know, especially if you're watching this after as a replay. I'd love to know your thoughts. I'd love to know all your thoughts. Does that even matter to you? Like, do people even care? So like Paul Mitchell, the company was always about like, we only sell to salons. We don't sell to drugstores. We don't sell to pharmacies. Meanwhile, their stuff is like all over the place. And, I've heard like reasons why that happens. And they actually do sell because they're making hundreds of millions of dollars selling to drugstores and this and that. But then I've also learned when I was with the company that, oh, those are all counterfeit products. They're fakes, or they're old, they're knockoffs. It's not coming from, it's all backdoor. It's all people trying to make money on the back door, just because pharmacies and some of these other stores want them, or big chain, discount stores. They all want these products because it's a name. They're getting them somehow. Well, where are they getting 86 cases of like a certain Paul Mitchell product? They have to be coming from somewhere. You can't just like randomly manufacture that stuff, So I've always felt there was somewhat of a conflict between them saying they're always for the professional, but meanwhile, they're all over the place as far as in stores and, supermarkets and pharmacies and all that. So this move with Paris Hilton, again, as much as I think Paris Hilton's like amazing, she's gorgeous, this and that, I don't see that as like matching up with the company or the brand Paul Mitchell. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. And I'd love to know what everyone's thoughts are on this. Jose, they do sell to Ulta, but Paul Mitchell, I didn't know that. Yeah, I haven't been in an Ulta in a long time. I don't recall seeing Paul Mitchell in there. I can't remember, to be honest with you. It's been a long time, you know. But if they do sell to Ulta, then bringing that in is a smart marketing move, but it goes against their fundamentals of like being for the professional and stuff like that. Ulta is a store that's open to the general public. Ulta has like salons and stuff like that, but like when I hear about Ulta salons, I don't think, oh, they're using Paul Mitchell. You know what I mean? Like Paul Mitchell has become I don't know. It's not what it used to be years ago. But if they're trying to hit the mass market, almost like, oh, a new product by Rihanna or whatever, J-Lo or Beyonce, okay, that's fine. But they usually launch their own products. Like, I don't think that if you see a picture of a celebrity in Ulta, especially from a girl, they're going to be like, oh, I want to buy this now. I get why that may be doing. That's what I'm saying. It's against the branding of what they normally do. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm just so curious as to what they're trying to accomplish with this. If they're trying to go more direct to consumer in a different way. I know they're on Amazon, right? They're on Amazon. So they've embraced, Yeah. So Andrea, I love Paris Hilton, but for all of those, okay, I'm going to do this all over again so you can all see. All right. I'm going to share this, and I'm hoping you can all see this. But Paul Mitchell, the hair care company, has hired and brought on Paris Hilton to be kind of like an influencer for them, and a glam ambassador. And I've worked for Paul Mitchell as an educator for like 3 years, 4 years, like something like that. I know the roots of the company. I always know they're always about the professional hairstylist. Oh, we don't sell, we only sell the salons, blah, 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 and all that stuff, which is nonsense, I think. I love Paris Hilton. She's gorgeous. She's a powerhouse. I've always, I had like a big crush on her for long, she's awesome. But the fact that Paul Mitchell has hired her, like, or bringing her on to represent that brand makes no sense to me whatsoever. No sense. And I'm someone who worked for that company. I know what they're all about. I think they're just, I don't want to say desperate, but I think it's just, I don't understand why they're doing this with her of all people. You know what I mean? Like they could have picked so many other people. I think they're just trying to get publicity, and that's what I'm saying. They're kind of like desperate to try to like go with someone who's still like very, very known and they have the money to do it. So I just think I'm like, but as far as the branding of these two people together, like her and that company is a complete mismatch. Because I worked for that company. And like they're all about like glam and beauty, but I think they're just using, or bringing her on because they're trying to just it's a desperate move to try to just get eyeballs from the consumers, because they see that like the consumer brands are really taking over everything. So, and let me know in the chat if you can see my screen, because I'm sharing my screen. Just type yes, I can see it, because I'm looking at this right now, and I'd love to know if you can all see this. So just type in yes, you can see it. But that's what this is about with Paris Hilton, right? Like, again, I love Paris Hilton. She's freaking amazing. I would probably like, if I ever met her, I'd be like, oh my God. But that's what's going on. So, yeah. Okay. Can you see what I'm, just type in the chat if you can see the screen that I was sharing? That all I need to know is that. Just type like a yes, because that's all I need. So, Jose, I appreciate this. I don't see this as against their branding at all. Every professional line says they're for the professional, so it means nothing to you. Exactly, Jose. They all say they're for the professional. But the only thing is Paul Mitchell, the company, and JP, like, they were so strong on that message more than like any other company, because I used to work for them. So they went way above and beyond, even putting out commercials on television saying, "Oh, we're only in salons and we only sell to professionals." I mean, like a TV commercial, like prime time, that's a lot of money. And that's what I'm saying. It goes so against what they've always done. Because again, I know that company. But did you all see the screen that I was sharing? Like, if you're on the chat, I'd love to know, because this way I can see it. I'm not doing hair tutorials. I'm not like, this is about a whole different topic. I also do hair consultations. So if you want a virtual one-on-one hair consultation with me, you can go to shop.thesalonguy.com to book a consultation with me, and we can do a video call like this, right? Which is a paid service. So, but yeah, I just find it really interesting, like, being that I'm a professional hairstylist and I've been direct to consumer for a long time. I have a small handful of salons, but you know, you only know about her from one of the SNL skits from several years ago when she guessed. Yeah. Uh-huh. I mean, Paris Hilton is like, I mean, she's like a legend, man. She's been around. She's an OG. Like, she's been around for a while. You know what I mean? Like, her family with the the Hilton hotels and all that. Like, Paris Hilton has been on, TV. She's world renowned, Paris Hilton. So, I mean, she's way beyond just SNL. She's massive. She's an entrepreneur, model. I mean, it's I've seen her in person. I just never like officially met her. But yeah, she's a big name. If you had known her from like knowing her, you would see why I'm saying it doesn't make any sense. Like, to have for her and that company to like pair up. I don't get it. And that's only from knowing that company. It's almost like if you hear Apple pairs up with some random person that you're like, wait, what? Like, that makes no sense. Or like Nike brings on somebody that you're like, that's, I don't get, or some some other Prada brings on like some individual that you're like, yeah, I don't really understand how that's, you know what I mean? That's kind of the move that that it was, in my opinion. So, but if you're a professional watching this, I really would love to know your opinion on this, because it's something that's like, I love to know. I made a comment on the Paul Mitchell Facebook page that I was like, yeah, I don't, and it's getting a lot of likes. I was like, yeah, I don't really see, this is like so off brand and for this. So I guess a lot of other people agree. But, if you're a fan of hers, then you're going to be a fan of hers. You know what I mean? It's like, you're going to like her no matter what. But, yeah. Yeah, that's all right, Andrea. It's all good. Andrea, did you see the screen share that when I was sharing the screen, showing like the picture of the website of Paul Mitchell's website with Paris Hilton? Just let me know, like, if you saw it, because I just want to make sure like it showed up on the screen. So yeah, I just want to share my opinion on this, and I really hope I get a lot of hairstylists watching this that they can share their opinion. You know, it's not like I just don't understand it. Okay, cool, Andrea, thank you. I just don't understand it. It's one of those things you just never know. I mean, obviously, there's always a reason why companies do what they do, especially when it comes to marketing and branding and publicity. But aside from that, it's a complete shock to me, and I'd love to know everyone else's opinions. So I'm gonna end this stream, and let me know in the comments below if you're a hairstylist and what your thoughts are on this. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.